Alright, so I'm doing a challenge trying to platinum every single game inside of the Ubisoft Plus game catalog on PlayStation. And if I can't do it before we hit 690,000 subscribers on YouTube, then I have to tattoo the platinum logo somewhere on my body. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Alright, so today I chose to platinum Watch Dogs because I really wanted to, since the game is one of my all-time favorites, and I never once beat it all the way through. It has a total of 40 trophies including the platinum and takes an estimated 50 hours to do with some sketchy online trophies. The game is almost 10 years old now, so those should definitely be interesting. But the first stage is to obviously beat the story, so that's what I did. It opens up with Aiden Pierce, who is the main character we play as, trying to infiltrate the Merlot Hotel. And he's also assisted with this crusty man named Damien. Now remember this because the entire game's plot surrounds this moment right here because they both failed and got some decently sized targets put on their head. Which is why this lad named Maurice was ordered to kill Aiden Pierce and anyone near him. Sadly, he failed and only took out Aiden's niece. And that's basically the plot of the whole game. Aiden is now trying to find who is behind everything. And we start by shooting Maurice dead in a baseball locker room. Life can't get any sweeter. Just kidding, the gun wasn't loaded, but I was ready. And that also popped us the first trophy of the game. The story then continues on with this Chinese guy who is named Jordy showing up, and he's the homie, I guess. We then both sort of work together to escape this baseball stadium because numerous murders just happened down below. This also serves as an intro into basic hacking, combat stealth, and all those fun things. But after a few minutes, we made it out and got to drive this very unique red car with absolutely zero duplicates nearby. And as you could guess, the goal is to now escape the cops, which is easier said than done because this game has a low-key difficult cop system. Either that or I'm just trash. Actually, I probably am just trash. But I did escape after a while and then made it back to the motel that Aiden lives in. What a classy man. He also has an investigation board up on his wall. Okay, now this is a true mystery game. Oh my god! Anyways, next, Aiden had to go to his nephew Jackson's birthday party because he missed it. Like, literally nobody is here, so either he has no friends or we are late. At one point, though, his sister Nikki got a call from someone threatening her, so being the big bro we are, the goal is to now find this man and kill him. Turns out that was a lot easier than expected, and the KD is already rising. Anyways, the next major mission we had in the story was to be a getaway driver for some fugitive hiding in a garage. Now, this level was a tad bit hard, but in all honesty, it wasn't that bad at all, which is why I felt even worse when dropping the lad off at his destination, only to watch him get tag teamed by an old man and his escort. Absolutely crazy. Chicago is a wild place. I'm just gonna drive away now. Right after that, I also went to the subway to meet this hacker named Bad Boy who has been giving Aiden info throughout the story. Turns out Bad Boy was actually a bad girl. At least, I think. Actually, we won't assume. Later on in the story, I ended up hacking into the wrong room and good old Damien made an appearance after all. This man then sent an army of fixers to kill me, and there was a tad bit hard combat section right after. I may have blown myself up. We don't talk about it. Next, however, I got to go meet up with Damien face to face, and he basically said he wants to get back into the game again with me as his partner. And I pretty much said, no thank you, kind sir, I am a changed individual. When in reality, he just smells like hard candy with hair on it. And the next major story mission had us cosplay as an inmate because one of the guys from here is a rat just like 6'9". So we have to find him and also intimidate him and totally not kill him. I guess Aiden really did want to turn a new leaf and be better. Sadly, I don't. I shot the guy right after he got done yapping. I then had to escape the police, and I did not have a good time trying to do this. In fact, it took me a grand total of 10 straight minutes of me running away before I finally got to a boat because there was no other option. That shit was at heat level 5 and they wouldn't get off my ass for anything. Once I did escape though, I got 2 trophies, so I guess it was all slightly somewhat worth it. Oh, and yeah, Damien showed up again, but this time he was at Nikki's house and he actually kidnapped her in addition. This is all because we refused to be his friend with the benefits the other night, so now the goal of the game is to get her back whilst also solving the mystery of who's behind everything. Today's gonna be a long day. Right after that confrontation though, I got a trophy for tagging 100 enemies, which I'm not sure how that's even possible since I was in a cutscene, but that's okay. This next part of the story then had us trying to save Jackson from the enemies coming after him, but I'm not sure why they need an army. It's literally just a 10-year-old kid who plays on his iPad all day. I'm sure he isn't John Wick in disguise. Thankfully, after countless more killings, we did get to him and then just sent him off to stay with some lady we know, I guess. I then had to go buy some crafting components. What a great shop. That's what I'm saying. Back at Aiden's 5-star motel room, that girl hacker Bad Boy showed up from the shadows. And I have to wonder how long she's been waiting there. kinda weird. But I guess we were all into different things, so no judgment. Anyways, the entire place blows up right after. Woman, I tell you what. So yeah, this next mission has us basically just getting hunted by enemies for a while. And it also broke at the end because I ran too far and messed up the order of things. What a fun time. Anyways, we ended up driving to this one island with a bridge as the only access point to it. On the island is a bunker from old hacking people and stuff. So the goal is to now get into it so we can hack stuff off the grid and also have a new hideout because Aiden's motel room is no longer with us. Rest in peace. At one point later, I had to take down some vehicle and I completely destroyed this guy's poor kidnapper van, which resulted in 10 total vehicle takedowns and a trophy from that. I also then had to infiltrate a basement poker game to find some old veteran hacker who has access to the bunker. Yeah, he didn't appreciate that at all, and then I had to chase the guy around. By the way, Aiden skips cardio, which makes chasing people down in this game extremely hard to do. In fact, it's closely related to edging if you know where I'm coming from. Anyways, we did end up catching the guy, and after talking to him, I can now see the close resemblance between his face and a ball sack. But he also did give us his little device, so that's cool. That device, by the way, controls the bridge, as you could guess, and we made it across. What a major W. I then had to turn on the power to this place, but once I did, we made it into the bunker, and that girl showed up again. We then both got super excited down in the bunker because of the big screens. Gen Z's true attraction right here. Anyways, a while later, I had this mission where I needed to wait and surprise attack some enemies pulling up to a location. So I did this by placing down IEDs where cars would be and then blowing them up, which actually gave me a trophy for getting a triple kill with one, so that's neat. Anyways, this is much later in the story, but there were some missions that weren't exactly YouTube family friendly, if you know what I mean. But good old Jackson ran away from that lady we sent him to stay with and got captured by all of the evil men. So I had to literally break in and kill everyone, including reinforcements. And I'm not gonna lie, I went God mode right here and did it completely stealthy and also very fast, which probably looked crazy on these monitors that Jackson got to watch the whole time. So now he knows I'm a mass murderer. Talk about childhood trauma, am I right? Later on, I was getting chased by a fixer because I found the location of Raymond Kenny, who was some old school hacker that basically made up the CTOS. That's the hacking software in this universe, by the way. But yeah, once I got rid of this fixer, after me, a trophy popped from the storage, so that's cool. I did end up finding Raymond Kenny, by the way, and he forced me to drink with him. Now, I love drinking with the boys, but gosh darn, when they punch you in the face, it's not much fun anymore. Oh yeah, he also tased me and then was about to blowtorch me also, but he had a change of heart. There was then lots of missions with him, by the way, but most just had us fighting enemies in the redneck part of town. So let's skip ahead to some trophies because I've gotten like none, and this video is probably half over by now. So the next trophy gotten is after you finish this boss fight section against a bunch of gang members straight from the hood. And it's honestly hard, unless you just use explosives like myself, then it isn't at all. So yeah, there's the trophy. Anyways, one of the final missions had Aiden get sort of captured by this old dude's minions. The old guy, by the way, is named Lucky, and he is like one of the most evil people in the story. So to take him down, we just turned off his pacemaker and he had like a heart attack and died. I honestly don't even think that's my fault. Natural selection is a bitch sometimes. The girl hacker was then at the grave of Aiden's niece because she felt bad and also got completely destroyed. So then I had to clean up the mess, but yeah, she's dead now, and there's another trophy. Nearing the end of the story, now I got attacked a lot, which isn't anything new, but I did use the focus skill and got 4 enemies in one use, which was a trophy. In the final part of this game's story then had us at a lighthouse, taking out both Damien and Jordy since they are actually both evil and are sort of the last thing left to get rid of for the world to be quote-unquote safe. After that, though, it was the end of the game's main story, and after lots of credits, there is the trophy. Sorry for glazing over the ending there, by the way, but this game's story is so good, I just can't explain it all in like 10 minutes. Alright, so now it's stage 2, which is basically random trophies and also lots and lots of collectibles. The first trophy I did, though, was from shooting out the tires on 15 different vehicles in the game. Pretty easy if I do say so for myself. I then captured every single watchtower in the game, which unlocks collectibles, fast travel, and basically just clears the whole map up so it's easy to go around and do everything in the future. I then spent like 3 hours going after every single city hotspot, which is one of the more annoying collectibles. There's 100 of them around the map, and I ended up finding 99, but couldn't see the last one, so I gave up with it for now, and I went on with my life as you should. And the next trophy I got was called Communication Fail, which is gotten from passively making people hang up the phone with the cops, you know, as opposed to causing more genocide than we already have. I then went after one of the longest trophies in the game, completing 40 fixer contracts. These are basically just quick little side missions where you hunt down a fixer and have to either kill them or just knock them out. Most are fairly easy to be honest, but it does still take quite some time. And at one of the locations for them, I actually found the 100th city hotspot that I couldn't earlier because it was hidden behind the fixer contracts map icon. What a great game. And those fixer contracts were so long actually that while doing them, I also stopped 20 crimes total, which are these little missions with the triangle icon that pop up randomly. That also gave me a trophy, by the way. And a few minutes after that, I finally got my first fixer contract trophy from doing all of the gang hideouts, which are another type of fixer contract. You can probably tell by now just how many of these damn things there are. Right after that trophy popped, I also had attracted some police after me, but once I escaped them, that ended up being the 15th police chase I have escaped in the game, and I got a trophy. So as you could guess, the next few hours of my life consisted of doing these contracts solely, and it was actually fun. I really like Watch Dogs, as I said earlier, so this platinum was honestly not that bad at all, even though it was quite long. At least that is until the last trophy. But before that, I finished 40 fixer contracts right here for that trophy. I then did every single criminal convoy shortly after because those are sort of fixer contracts. In addition, they just don't spawn in as often as the others. I then started the rest of the collectible cleanup, which was mostly just investigations, but I did them all at once, so no trophies really popped for quite a few hours until I beat this guy in chess and was able to get every single skill available in the game. But then another 2 hours after that, I was actually getting trophies at last because the collectibles were running dry just like your mother. So I'm just going to have all of these displayed on the screen right now since the investigations are all very similar. You basically just have to find a certain amount of items around the map, and then once you get them all, a final quest pops up and you finish it for the trophy. Alright, so now it's basically stage 3 for the trophy list, at least if we go in my stages. This stage consisted of cleaning up the last few trophies in the open world, along with doing the online trophies, which you could say is a stage by itself, but I'm just going to throw them in with the random ones because they really aren't bad at all. First, however, I had to do this drinking game trophy, which wasn't hard to do. Like, I didn't fail one time, but you had to beat 30 levels total of this, and it took me 2 hours to do. More impressive though is Aiden's ability to not go blackout drunk and himself after taking shots for 2 hours straight. I'm actually amazed. I then got a quick trophy after from playing every single bar game, which my final one was indeed slots, the scam of all scam. I then had to escape a level 5 CTOS scan, which is nearly impossible to do without scanner jams, and also being on a boat makes it like 20 times easier because you can just drive away into the endless sea. And about an hour later, I escaped 15 of those scans total in the game for that trophy pop. And now it's time to do the online trophies. These can be super difficult now, especially since the game is so old, but you can boost with friends still, which is what made this tailing trophy pop for me so easily. Although I'm also pretty sure 4 other people tailed me without my knowledge because my buddy only had to do it once. So now I feel invaded. I then went after the Hack 10 Enemies online trophy, and I didn't actually boost this as a matter of fact. No, this game has a shockingly big player base still, and I managed to get hacking contracts almost instantly every single time. The online play of this game is also extremely fun when you get to hack people. Can't really say the same for when you're getting hacked, but I had a blast doing these online trophies. After the normal 10 hacking wins, I then did the 10 observation type missions right after, which again is hilariously fun. So yeah, there's both those trophies, and I can't complain at all. That was actually a fun time. The last online trophy is now just complete 10 public online races. These aren't difficult at all because you don't have to win, you just have to complete them. So huge shout out to these 2 random people that decided to wake up and do online racing in a 10-year-old game. And there is the final online trophy pop. So I have 1 trophy left now, and it's called This Space Full. The requirement for this trophy is to get 23 out of 23 songs in the game. You get these from hacking into speakers and just finding random people who have the song playing on them. Both, by the way, are extremely rare, and this trophy is pretty much entirely luck based. I spent a solid 5 hours straight walking around hacking people trying to get lucky and find someone who had the song. But there literally is not a method for this. You straight up just have to be lucky. Obviously, you should go to places with lots of people so there's a higher amount of hacks you can do, but even with a good location, this trophy sucks. It's the only real hard one in the entire game, and sadly it's also the reason I didn't just make the video title, The Watch Dogs Platinum Trophy was actually fun, because this was most definitely not fun. I actually went a tad bit insane doing this, and I nearly fell asleep from boredom because I had been trophy hunting all day and I was extremely tired of this game. But I kid you not, I woke up the next morning at a crisp 6 a.m. and hopped on to finish this trophy off so I can make this video. And within 6 minutes, the goddamn game gave me the last song. I don't understand why you do this to me. So yeah, I got the platinum trophy for Watch Dogs. Overall, if we just ignore that last trophy, the game absolutely slaps. And it's one of my most favorite of all time if I'm being honest. Watch Dogs just has that extremely unique thing about it that was executed so well, and I love it. So I guess we will see in the future if that trend of good games continues or not, and I'll see you then.